Well, good afternoon. We got a 2011, I believe, GMC Sierra. It was towed here because of a dead battery or not cranking. A customer called me on the weekend and said that his backup lights were reported to be left on. Then it said the next day it wouldn't crank. Turning the key on, I don't see a check engine light. I hear a relay clicking, but I don't see a check engine light. Listen for the fuel pump prime. I'm not sure if that was a fuel pump prime. Where is the check engine light normally located? Up on the top left. Well, I'm going to bypass the starter relay, see if I can get it to crank. So I told him to take the backup lamp fuse out, and I see he's got a 10 amp fuse out. I wonder if he pulled that fuse out of something that's necessary for it to start. So I've got the key on, and this is the starter relay. Some corrosion on some of these relays under here. Which one's the powertrain relay? This one right here. That one's turning on. And this is a run crank relay, this one here. Oh, look at that. Green crusties. See if the check engine light's back on now. Wonder what fuse he pulled out. Nice and warm today. Oh, got a check engine light. Maybe it'll go. I guess if I put the starter relay back in, it might. Let's see if it'll start with this. No. Let's put the starter relay in. It might not start with bypassing the starter relay because of security, but I thought it would. Let's watch the tach. Got an RPM signal. I didn't hear the fuel pump run. Maybe turn the key off and back on again. I'm going to figure out what fuse he removed. So I'm sure that fuse panel's a problem because I got the check engine light on and I got the key in my hand. I don't hear a fuel pump prime. Oh good, it's running. I gotta get it in the shop before it quits. So I never did find out where exactly he pulled that fuse. It might be in the dash. But this run crank relay is pretty green. Yeah, that's the run crank relay, that one right there. And the powertrain relay, this one here. If I pull this out, it's going to quit. So this thing needs a fuse panel. And that's probably what's causing the backup lights to stay on. Now the check engine light goes off, but I had the check engine light on. So that run crank relay might be shorting itself out, and that would be like leaving the key on. So I put the fuse back in. I don't have the key on, I don't have it running, I don't have it in reverse. And the fuse is actually number 15. which is this one right here. I think that's number 15. And with the fuse in, its backup lights are on. So having a look at the circuit, the fuse panel contains a backup lamp relay that is PCB mounted. In other words, it's soldered to the circuit board. Pin 30 of the relay is live all the time, and we've got power to that backup fuse. The relay is power side controlled by the body control module, I believe. Yes, the body control module. So I'm sure that the relay is shorted, stuck on, but this fuse panel is getting replaced. I got one coming. So disconnect the vehicle battery, remove the brace, disconnect the 2 power wires from the feed stud. One's for the auxiliary battery power to the trailer, and one's for the trailer brakes, I believe. I think this one's for trailer brakes. Flip these 2 ears up, and the fuse panel just lifts out of here. So there's the fuse panel. I'll inspect all the connections. They all look pretty clean. This is the main feed coming in here. I cleaned that one up with a diamond file, and I packed all the connections with dielectric grease. I use this Clean Flow Easy Slide dielectric grease, and I like it because I can squeeze the tube into the connectors here. Clean the eyelets on the feed studs, and we're still waiting for the fuse panel. So one of the places where the salt can migrate into the fuse panel is on these feed studs here. So I'm going to put a little bead of RTV sealant on the new one, as well as underneath here. In this area here, there's the circuit board is open there and in here. So I'm going to put some RTV sealant across here just to make sure that, well, try to prevent the salt from migrating in there. It's very important that that cover be installed as completely as possible, and that we don't have any wires, cheater wires underneath there. Now I know he just took the cover off, but I don't know if it was installed properly and latched down. So I filled the cavities under the bottom of this thing with RTV sealant, and a little bit like that as well. So now we're going to put it back in. Okay, so we've ID'd the vehicle. It's got 112,000 kilometers on it. Let's go and do a code scan now. I've got it running. And backup lights work fine now. I see there's some TPMS messages on the dash. Probably has dead sensors. Airbag codes, undefined code, mirror power folding, lost communication with BCM, tire pressure invalid. So we'll wait for this to scan, and then we'll do a network code clear, make sure all the lights are working. Back. They're all codes read by code scan. Also clean the battery cable connections. So we'll reset the clock time on the radio and call this one fixed. Thanks for watching.